Big day it is. I have my Disney College Program interview, a phone interview, and it's actually technically the open period time is in about 13 minutes. I have my interview at 3 o'clock, and so at 2:45 they can go if they want to, and I gotta answer. Sorry, I'm trying to stay hydrated. If I don't, probably on a coughing fit or something. I don't know. I feel like I get so dry and scratchy whenever I'm nervous. But anyway, here is the little good luck fit. Yeah, this is Halloween themed. It is January, but well, first off, I love this sweatshirt so much. It is from Box Lunch, and I got it last September, and I wear it all the time because it's so soft inside. It is still soft inside. And second, it is the only piece of warm Disney clothing that I own, and it's 20 degrees outside. And then I got my little Remy ears. These are my good luck ears that I wore when I originally applied and did my web-based interview. So now they're gonna be my little good luck charm. But anyway, yeah, I got everything all ready to go. Let me just kind of, I don't think I can turn the camera at this point. No, I can't. Okay. But yeah, I have everything all ready to go. If you look right here, I have all my note cards. I have my little good luck candle too. And then I have my resume, the application pulled up. Sorry, I'm currently charging my phone right now, and so it's kind of hard to manage. But yeah, since I do use my phone to film my videos, this is just going to be a little intro, and then my actual interview will be filmed on my laptop, which has a very, very terrible quality. This is the first interview rotation that's been happening since COVID, and so I just thought, people might want some updated information, maybe if they ask some more questions. A couple of my friends this morning have already had their interviews, and so I kind of know what they're asking, and so there's a lot of things that are pretty similar to the old ones. They brought back I guess role preferences. They just ask what you want to do, and they ask you questions geared towards that. I don't know how much is actually going to play into what role you get when you get in, but I just just want to let you know that, because role preferences didn't come back on the actual application, but they do seem to ask you sometimes in the phone interview. So yeah, I'm just gonna film mine, put it up, let anybody know any ideas or questions that they might be asking for the next Disney College Program applications. So that's about it for right now, and then I will just get right into it and hopefully see you guys on the other side. I mean, this is it. This is the last, well, okay, this is not it, because I have my character performer audition that I still have to learn and record. But this is the last step of getting into the program. So if you're watching this video, I obviously got into the program because I would only want to give you guys insider look to the phone interview if it ended well. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and patiently wait, try to see what happens, and hopefully it's good. Hi, this is Krista.
Hi, Krista. This is Elizabeth calling from the Disney College Program. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good. So I'm calling for your scheduled telephone interview, and just want to make sure this is still a good time for you, and you're in a safe space and not currently driving.
Yes, this is a great time. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, sounds good. Well, I'm super excited to be speaking to you within the next, or for the next 20 or 30 minutes. And this time is just going to be an opportunity for me to get to know you, your interests, your experience, and then, of course, just a time for you to ask me any questions that you might have. I'm going to be asking you a few questions just to get to know you, but feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Otherwise, we can save until to the end.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, thank you.
All right, perfect. And then just to start off, it does look like you're currently going to Southwestern University, and You're studying environmental studies and theater. So I guess my first question is, how are you hoping your time with us is going to help you with your career aspirations and goals?
Yeah, what a great question to start with. I've actually been thinking about this a lot. So, as of right now, I am really beginning to pursue my environmental studies degree, and I have a really great internship right now at the Austin Youth River Watch. And I really just get to work with high school students there, mentoring them, letting them kind of gain their own environmental stewardship. But it's also a great social program because we help them get IDs and apply to college and any great life experience that you need, because these are usually like kids from marginalized communities. And so with that, I have a lot of that one-on work, just like personal interaction with the students. And I know working at Disney, I'm hoping that I'm able to be in a role where I can have those personal connections and gain that more of that like human interaction that I'm hoping for. A lot of the environmental organizations, like nonprofits that I want to work for, they're very community based, and it's full of like local environmental stewards who do their part to better the environment. And so I would be doing a lot of community outreach and working with the citizens, especially if I like stay in the Austin area. And so just sharpening the people skills that I need for that and helping form those better connections, I think is the Disney College program is a great way to get those experiences. And I really would love that as I continue to develop myself.
Yeah. Awesome. No, I think that's definitely. I mean, with this program, you'll definitely get a lot of those skills, especially those people skills. You'll definitely be interacting with a lot of people. Whether it's people or potentially there are some roles where you're interacting with more of like the cast members. But still, I think that's something you'll definitely be. A skill that you'll be developing here. And so why did you apply to the college program versus maybe other internships that are out there? What attracted you to it?
So I knew about the college program for years, and I thought that really honestly, just beginning with my love of Disney, like I've been going to Disney since I was a child, and honestly knowing about how immersive this program is and really being able to be one of the people, one of the cast members, like in the parks or at Springs, making the magic for people. That was honestly a vital part of my childhood. Like Disney really ended up being the happiest place on earth for me, and I would go like almost every single year with my family. And it's really shaped who I am as a person, and I just want to be able to give that experience to someone else. So really like just being part of the world that Disney is, like being there interacting with the customers and being able to help individual people maybe find out who they are and find out what the magic is within them. And then also I know this program is a great way to meet other people, other students my own age, living with roommates, and that's another aspect that I'm really hoping for. I already have a couple group chats going on with other people who are applying, had their phone interviews, friends from that, and so I feel like that's a huge part that this program has to offer, and I really was drawn to those aspects of this program specifically.
Gotcha. No, that's very awesome. And yeah, I mean, I think just like, everybody who's part of this program, living together and rooming and all the activities that this program offers is definitely really awesome, from just like the classes and like the special events, and it just brings everybody together.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Okay. Well, great. I mean, so I do want to talk about maybe a couple roles that you might see yourself doing, or what role maybe caught your interest. But to start off, just want to confirm: do you have a valid U.S. driver's license?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. It's not required, but there are a couple roles that do require. So just want to make sure I can filter through those if needed. But yeah, I mean, did you get a chance to look at some of our roles? Are there any that kind of stand out to you? Any that you see yourself doing?
Yeah, so I know this one's a little bit tricky, but my number one role would be a character performer. So I am like planning on going through the audition process. I've been practicing the routine. I kind of wanted to make sure that I had ample time to dedicate to the phone interview and then have a lot of time for the audition afterwards. But besides working in entertainment that way, I've also been sort of drawn to the convention guide or working in merchandise. Anything that really gets that guest interaction going on.
Gotcha. No, that's perfect. And so, for the character performer, did you already do all of the? You applied to that separately, and you said you did get called for like an audition and everything.
I have not heard anything back for a callback since right now they're just doing the virtually submitted auditions. Yeah. So I'm filming that audition and then I will be putting it on my little audition portfolio with the Disney company. And then if I get a callback, then they'll let me know. I think auditions close on February 10th, so I should know like right after that.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. So I'm glad you went through those steps for that one because that one's a little bit more out of our hands. But yeah, glad that you're kind of getting that started. But I think as far as like the other ones, merchandise, I think that's definitely like a great opportunity to just like, as you mentioned, just getting that like people skills and that interaction. For that one, you potentially will be selling sometimes, occasionally you can be like at a cart selling like foods or like little like snacks. Is that something that you are comfortable with?
Yes, I have plenty of like money handling experience with past jobs that I've worked and a job that I'm currently working right now.
Perfect, awesome, okay. And so, why don't you give me an example? You said you kind of have that like customer service experience, cash handling. Like, has there ever been an experience where you had to, I guess, like deal with like a tough customer, and what did you do there?
Yeah, so luckily, like my first job right during high school, I worked at a place called Amy's Ice Creams, and I kind of like to compare it like it's the Austin's version of Disney World. Going right in, it was a very unconventional application process. They really they have their motto is to make everybody's day. So it's really making your own little magic for people and helping them, just making their day as the guests come in. And so I haven't had too many like really struggling situations with like I guess difficult or rude guests, but I had some times where maybe somebody wouldn't be able to afford something, and there was this like very specific time that I remember. There was this little boy, he couldn't be older than like 7 years old, and he came in, and I'm pretty sure he like just got his report card or something, and he got all straight A's, so his dad wanted to treat him to some ice cream as like a reward. And so he was super excited, and the little boy came running in and he started pointing at all the toppings he wants. And at Amy's, any additional topping after the first one, they added like $1 charge to it. And so I could tell the dad was a little bit stressed out, and he was kind of telling me that they couldn't afford to get all that because it would end up being like a $10 ice cream. And so the little boy was obviously like visibly very upset about that. And so I was offering a solution. I told him that one great thing about Amy's is that sprinkled toppings are free, so you can get as much of that as you want. And I told him that I could make him a really special ice cream. I think one of the toppings that he wanted was M&Ms. And so one thing that we do at Amy's, like we do like little designs sometimes on the ice creams. And so I decided I kind of made a little scoop hole in the center of the ice cream, and then I put sprinkles in it, and I put a few M&Ms on top, and I told him it was like his little bird nest ice cream because it looks like a little nest with eggs in it. Mm-hmm. And he got so excited. He was so proud of his ice cream because he was like, this is like my special treat. Like, she made this specifically for me. And I just thought it was really important because I was like, you can make a great experience for any guest who comes in, even if they aren't able to do it the same way as other people. Like, as long as you're finding a way to include everybody and literally make the magic for them. And so that just is an experience that I hold really dear to my heart because, it was kind of struggling knowing that the little boy couldn't get exactly what he wanted, but trying to figure out a way to make it work. So he left feeling probably more excited than he would have because he had a new experience that he could tell people a story about now.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, and that's very that's really nice to hear. And a great way to handle the situation and make a little boy, day. So that's awesome. Um, and then as far as like environment, as you might have just like heard, this role, a lot of our roles are going to require you to be, walking from one end of the park to the other, and it could occasionally be indoor or outdoor. And just want to make sure that you're comfortable with all of that.
Yes, I have gained a lot of my walking skills from my environmental studies degree. Living in Texas, dealing with the Texas summers, having to be outside a lot for that, I feel like I'm definitely equipped with the heat.
Perfect. Um, and then one last question. I mean, as far as like safety, can you give me an example of, how you were, just abiding by like any of the safety rules at any of your current jobs, or where you had to kind of step in for certain incidents?
Yeah, so I guess two specific jobs that I can talk about. Obviously, at Amy's, it was a food service job, so making sure to maintain a clean environment so that there was no contamination. A lot of people would come in and they might have like a nut allergy, and so we had a special board just to use to make sure that no nuts touched it. We had separate tongs for the candies with nuts in it, and a lot of times when people would come in, it wasn't technically required, but I always personally felt more comfortable pulling out a brand new flavor that had not been touched by any other scoops, just to make sure that there was no contamination whatsoever. And then making sure that once we use the board, to really clean it off well. And I was a shift leader, and so I had to relay a lot of these safety protocols to anyone that I was in charge of at the time, making sure that they really knew what they needed to do to make sure that our guests had a good experience, and making sure that everybody stayed safe and there were no dangers anybody had to face. And then, as an educational leader at my internship right now, I do act as a guardian for the students, and that really takes a lot of creating trust and them having to trust me to make sure that they know that I am there to lead them and keep them safe. And so, just any of those skills to make sure that they understand that what I'm doing, and in my role, I know that they are my biggest priority, and making sure that they're doing things the correct way, whether it's water quality testing and working with potentially dangerous chemicals, telling them exactly how to hold it, making sure they have their gloves on, making sure they're doing everything step by step, and they're really maintaining focus and listening to me, and me acting as a role model and doing the things that correctly, so that they can proceed doing those things and not have to have any accidents or slip ups.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I mean, of course, like your number one priority is safety. So I'm glad that you were taking all like the measures required to ensure there wasn't any cross contamination or just any incidents. And I like that you touched on like just the cleanliness that you have to
Oh yeah, of
make
course.
sure that everything is clean, especially to ensure again no accident happens. So that's very good. Perfect. So, I think as far as I know we talked a little bit about merchandise being an option. I know you mentioned convention guide, which I think is also a great opportunity too for that one. As you might have read, Disney will host different events, and this person will be the one kind of doing like a crowd control, which it does seem like you have experience kind of leading a team and being able to kind of speak up. So I think that would be really good skills for that role. And then the last one the last one I wanted to talk to you a little bit about was our quick service food and beverage. Because you have experience working at Amy, I think this is another good option to consider as well. A lot of our applicants kind of going into this one just because there are a lot of parks or restaurants within our parks. So is this something that you would be comfortable as well, kind of getting into?
It's something that I would do, but probably lower on my list, only because since I have that experience, which of course like the skills needed, like if that's needed, that's needed. But I would love to also take the skills that I've learned from jobs like that and put them into other jobs that are available. I'm anything that I am given, I'm going to take just because I want to make sure that I am able to do this program. But yeah, just out of like pure honesty, that would be a lot lower on the list.
No problem. That makes complete sense. And I guess would you be open to, like, do you want to work in the attraction side, or are you also open to maybe working on like the hotels, maybe concerts or something like that? So, or like, do you want to just stick to the parks?
I guess yeah, I guess any my priority if I had to have one, I guess would be in the parks. I would love to be able to work in the parks. I'm definitely not opposed to working at the resorts, but I would be, I guess, more excited to start my journey and actually be working within the parks.
Perfect. Okay, no, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I think then another one, I guess another option would be the attractions where, you could be the one kind of, guiding our guests into the ride, maybe making announcements as far as, any safety, precautions or anything like that. And it does require, being, taking part of that role, if you're in a specific ride, playing that part as well. So I think it does take a little bit of that kind of, right attitude and again, being able to be comfortable with the crowd.
Yeah, I definitely attractions. I obviously have my top three choices, but attractions would also be very high. As very trained and with a theater background, I think it would be a lot of fun to hold that role. And obviously, like working with crowds, I've worked with large crowds within theater, whether I'm doing like house management or working with crowds with my internship right now, because I work with a lot of students. I definitely have a very loud theater voice, so it's easy for
Yeah.
me to be heard. So yeah, that's definitely an option that's up there. Like yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So, I mean, I know we discussed a couple of roles, but feel free to review all of our roles, on our website, just so you are familiar with all of them.
Yeah.
But just to make sure, I know you did read through a couple, and so just want to make sure that you are able to perform some of the essential functions of the roles with or without a reasonable accommodation.
Yes. I don't have any sort of accommodations. I would be able to perform any of the
Okay.
roles.
Perfect. Well, great. I mean, that's pretty much all of the questions I have for you today. So, I mean, as far as what happens from here, we'll be sending communication about our decision to your dashboard on the Disney Career Portal. So just make sure you keep an eye out for that. They do send an email out, but sometimes that can go to spam. So, dashboard is always your best bet.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, and then as far as when you might hear from us, that can happen within the next couple of weeks, but you will hear no later than mid-late April. So if you don't hear in a couple of weeks, like don't get scared. We'll be sending those offers until April.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, and then once you get your offer, you do have 7 days to accept. And once you get the offer, you'll get more information as far as like what next steps you need to take.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, for now, I know I did a lot of talking and shared some information with you. But do you have any questions for me?
I actually do have a couple of questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So one of my questions, I will be graduating this semester. So I was wondering, I know that the Disney College program offers some classes. Is that something that's only open for current college students or graduating or graduated college students? Are they able to do that as well?
Do you mean like to get credit for it, or just kind of taking some of those courses that the program offers?
Yeah, just taking the courses that the program offers, just for fun, just for the extra knowledge and experience.
Yeah. So yeah, no, those are definitely optional for you to take, and they are open for anybody, whether you've graduated or not. So those are available to you, and we definitely recommend that you take advantage of those, because again, they're optional, but I think that's something that we hear a lot of like participants or past participants that they'll say that that's something that they wish they would have attended more of. So yeah, definitely take advantage of those.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And then my other question, obviously you can answer this to, like, your level of comfortability, but I was wondering, like, what was your Disney journey like into getting into the role you are now? Just if I were to want to pursue a future career with Disney, if I really enjoy the Disney college program and realize this is where I want to be and I want to stay here long term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, I think for me, one of the biggest things was, when finding a job is culture and being sure and making sure that the team I'm going to be working with, is someone that, or is a team that I can see myself working with daily, can get along with, and I think you always want that support from your team. So I think this is going to be a great experience to get a little bit of a taste of that, of just working with Disney and some of the leadership here, and just getting an understanding of how we work. Because I think that will really show how it's pretty similar in the corporate world. We really do take care of each other, and we want to make sure that we succeed. And that's something that I really enjoyed during my time here. It's been a little over a year now, a year and a half now that I've been with Disney, and the people, it really just are amazing. I know it's easy to say, a lot of people say that, but
It's true.
really
No, I totally believe it, and congratulations for being there for over a year now.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this is going to give you a good taste of what it feels like, and I know a lot of people that I'm working with now come from this program, so there's definitely a lot of opportunity for you afterwards.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. But thank you. Yeah, I was probably expecting just about that, but it's still really exciting to hear from people who are currently employees, knowing that they're still having a great time and that the college program is a great way to kind of get your foot in the door and get that experience. So thank you for sharing.
Of course, my pleasure. Well, great. I mean, is there anything else I can answer for you?
No, I think that's all.
Okay, well, sounds good. I mean, it was really great chatting with you.
It was great chatting with you too.
Hopefully you hear from us again, hopefully soon. But if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to our support team, and you should be able to find that number or email address in your dashboard. But otherwise, I mean, have a fantastic rest of your day.
You also have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. I did it. Whew. So many note cards didn't even get used, but I had them. I used the ones that I used, so I'm glad I had those too. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been an experience, and see how it goes.